Hi, I'm confused of Liverpool. My name's Tim, for those of you who care. What am I confused? I'm confused about everything, particularly this last week, maybe this last year, maybe this last 5 years. This is not the planet I grew up on, and so I thought I'd look into it with this series and try and figure out where I'm at, where everything's at. How best to do this? Well, going to start off by talking to somebody who kind of is in the news a lot, in that, well, all I have to say is the word immigrant. I think you've heard that word a few times over the last year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, whatever. We're going to talk to one of those immigrants very, very soon. And here she is now. Sunita, hello to you. Hello, Sunita's iPhone. Can we see you? Is there a visual coming through? There is indeed. Well, now,
Oh,
lovely to see you and how lovely to meet you. Your name is Sunita. Well, you sound like that might be an immigrant name. That does not sound like an English name to me. And that does not, I have to say, seem like an English background. Where are you?
not English background. I'm in beautiful Goa.
Oh my goodness me. Well, I feel as if I'm there. I do feel as if I'm there. Well, it's probably as well I'm not because I don't think I have the right paperwork. Speaking of which, oh, immigrant, um, I believe you are an immigrant despite your background at this moment. Here in the
Yes,
UK, is this true?
yes, that's true. This May 2026 marks 10 years of me in the UK.
Really, 10 years in the UK. Well, I'm confused. I've already said I'm confused because you you don't seem to be what I'm reading about in the papers. I mean, you don't look like a murderer. You don't look like a rapist. Have I been reading the wrong newspapers, perhaps?
No, I think it's just the way how immigrants are portrayed and boxed in one box. Um, there is no positive immigration in many ways because nobody talks the positive stuff. People only talk about what we don't we do negatively, but what we positively add to the country, to the economy, to the society is never been appreciated or even brought into spotlight. We just live in a world where negativity has much more power over positive changes what people in general are doing. I don't see anybody in form of a color, but hey, till I came to the UK, I came to know I'm a brown girl. I fall in a brown chat. So we
Really,
have
really.
chat now.
I mean,
Yeah, we have a brown chat.
I find that really very strange. As somebody who grew up in the 1950s and 60s, where such things I don't believe were noticed, but obviously things are different today. We're living in a different century for one thing, and maybe I need to pull myself up into this new world. How have you
Yeah.
found Great Britain? 10 years. So I guess you are as British as myself, really.
Well,
A long time.
I believe in if you're see, I like to use the word migrant than an immigrant. Because look at it, look at the birds. Birds migrate. Nobody say birds are immigrants, right? So
Right.
I look at myself as a migrant. So I move to a country. I always believe that if somebody wants to move to a country, you learn their language, you respect their culture, you yes, we all put our own mark, but there is a system in place. So you need to fall into the system. People don't, or the media is not talking about how does a migrant moves. There is no what do you call it, not knowledge, I would say, no awareness. What is legal migrant, what is an illegal migrant? Immigration is a form of a process, but migrants add and decrease the value depending on what they bring to the table. So if an illegal migrant or an immigrant, however you want to classify them, go and do bad stuff like rape, groom, steal, they say, oh, it's the immigrant who did it. But what about the people who work in NHS? People like me who came and started our life here. And, I come from hospitality background. I bought my country's food here. I provided employment. I have also made awareness of so many different cultures to people. Food is one of those industries which bring the world together on a table.
Yeah,
but it's
literally.
it's those list things. It's when people are not aware what is immigration, what is a migrant. I find immigration word. I don't like to associate immigration to my word. To me, as a definition, I would say I'm a migrant, and I'm a damn good legal migrant. I waited for 10 years, followed the process, despite being married to a British man, having a child who was born in Macclesfield, in Bollington, in Cheshire, in the UK, however we want to put the comma marks on. Paid my taxes, paid for my NHS surcharges, all in advance by 30 months, because we don't get more further extension beyond it. It's a 30-month sort of like a contract. You pay in advance, you have leased a place and you want to stay. And then if you don't like it, pack and go. It's sometimes very disrespectful when you add so much and you're not even offered an early immunity to say, hey, you know what? You stayed here, you've contributed so far, you have a child, let's make your life easier, let's add to you. But no. So it's very upsetting. It just happened to, I feel it, but there is a process. So I like to follow a process.
Sunita, you've opened my eyes just in this brief chat to things that I didn't know because I haven't read this in the paper. It's very interesting. After 10 years, how do you feel?
Well, let me stop you here. Let me stop you here. We, there are so many countries. Yes, people coming on boats is looked down on, but yes, people are trying to find refuge in the countries. They don't have the time to do the paperwork. People in Ukraine, how are they going to escape? They want to live. People are fighting for their life. So they are trying means and forms to get to another country to live, to have their children live. But there are doctors in there are nurses in there are professionals in there. Why, even if they turn up in that one, why they cannot be given a chance? But for example, like me, I didn't turn up on boat, but because of my color, I was said I turned up on a boat. But people don't realize that legal migrant like myself, I'll not talk for about anybody else, but legal migrant like myself just didn't turn up at the airport. You have a proper 3 months process. You fill a 40-page document. You provide your financial proofs. You provide your sponsor details. Only when you send that off, plus pay the fee, you don't know you're not going to get a refund, because everybody says if it doesn't process, you don't get a refund. You get a partial refund, but it's not a lot. But then once all the paperwork comes, you're anticipated that, oh God, nothing goes wrong anywhere, and you get your paperwork, but you're not provided a visa. You're provided something called an entry visa, which you need to enter the country within 30 days. Then you pack all your life in a 30-kilo suitcase and a 15-kilo suitcase and a backpack maybe, or a handbag, and you head to the airport. You buy a one-way ticket, get on that plane, arrive at the UK borders via whichever country or a direct. You just don't get entry straight away. There is an immigration border force officer who will look at your paper, check you out, ask questions. Only if that border control officer is happy, you get this stamp and say, welcome to England. But then it doesn't just stop there. You go in, you have 30 days to go and give your fingerprints in the local post office or an immigration office, where when in 2016 there was a place to go, but mainly in post office. You give your fingerprints and then your biometrics is sent away. And that has a term as well. You have to be there done within 30 days. Then you get your resident permit card. you get a permit card with rules. Depending on what visa you're on, you're allowed to work or not. There is no access to public funds, so you don't get free money from anywhere as a migrant. So you have to go and work, still pay your national insurance, even when you're brand new to the country.
Very well said. 10 years in, and with a child, 8 years of age, the child, the boy, and
Yes.
still this hanging over you to a certain extent. If all goes well, I believe this year, yeah, still hanging over you. That's quite something. Yeah, you've opened up all sorts of questions here, and I think we'll answer them bit by bit by bit as we go through this series. It's really, really interesting. Where are we today? Here you are. You've been here 10 years. Do you think we're going in the right direction, the wrong direction? How is life for you as an immigrant in the UK today? Is it everything you expected? Does it leave something to be desired?
I think it's met the lifestyle tick box, but to be honest, what's going on right now, it's a very scary world. And just an instance, since last night, I haven't slept much because when I saw the Venezuela conquering by Donald Trump, has not only just made me feel, oh gosh, how lucky are we? We can't get invaded like that, but how bad for their country. But it became very serious when this morning I woke up and there is a public international statement said that they're going to conquer Greenland. It's coming closer to our home. I treat England as my home. I've spent nearly a decade in here. My son lives here. My family is here. So, and I'm here in India and I'm flying back tomorrow via Europe. And I am actually very scared that what is the future of my child? Am I providing him in a safe space? Should we move to some other country? Am I going to be safe flying back now while I'm airborne? So it is scary and it's coming closer and closer to home. We're not far away from Greenland, but the threats across the country is trying to threat each other to bomb and kill. I'm scared of my son. I think anything else, more than anything else, I'm scared of my son's future. Can I provide him a safe, peaceful place to grow and be a child, not worry about world peace?
Sunita, my beautiful fellow citizen, I look forward to greeting you back to our country, very, very soon. We will talk further. Thank you.
Thank you.
And beautiful hat, by the way.
It's a bit of an English in me.